Get ready for the action, because we are diving straight into the NBA draft lottery drama. An NBA GM believes the Washington Wizards might pass on Darryn Peterson for the #1 overall pick, suggesting that BYU freshman AJ Dybantsa is the safer bet due to Peterson's recent cramping issues. We break down exactly why this potential shift in focus could completely change the landscape for the top prospect in the league.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we shift gears entirely to college baseball, where the hopes for the Kansas team are hanging in the balance. After a disappointing sweep against West Virginia, Dan Fitzgerald's group now has a chance to rebound and fight for the Big 12 title, facing a crucial matchup against BYU that could define their season's trajectory. We move now to the coaching side of college basketball, as Bill Self and Kansas face a major personnel question. With Christian Reeves on board, the question is whether his lingering injury woes will force the Jayhawks to pursue another big man in the transfer portal, potentially impacting their entire frontcourt rotation. Finally, we connect the dots on the NBA draft lottery results and what they truly mean for Darryn Peterson. We examine how the revamped lottery structure and the Washington Wizards' current draft position might actually strengthen Peterson's case to go first overall, and what the implications are for the top 2 picks in the entire draft. Stay with us for the full breakdown. The NBA draft lottery has ignited speculation regarding the fate of top prospects, with the Washington Wizards securing the coveted #1 overall pick. While initial expectations pointed toward Kansas guard Darryn Peterson, a freshman standout from BYU, the landscape has shifted dramatically following a compelling season by BYU freshman AJ Dybantsa, who is now widely considered the likely top prospect. Dybantsa's exceptional performance has propelled him into contention for the #1 spot, overtaking Peterson's standing due to his demonstrated on-court ability. This shift has prompted significant debate among NBA executives about the Wizards' decision-making process. Sources indicate that an anonymous NBA general manager believes Washington will prioritize Dybantsa as the safer selection over Peterson. The rationale centers on Peterson's recent struggles with injuries and cramping issues, which were linked to creatine use in college, raising concerns about his availability and reliability. I don't think they can take the risk with Peterson, even though I think his upside is even higher than Dybantsa, the GM stated, suggesting Washington will opt for Dybantsa because he represents a safer bet, particularly given the team's need to secure a top talent and avoid a major misstep. Despite Peterson's higher perceived upside when healthy, the tangible evidence of Dybantsa's performance this season has influenced the decision. The consensus among analysts is that the Wizards are unlikely to jeopardize the #1 pick, favoring Dybantsa's proven form. While the lottery determined the pick, the outcome hinges on the team's assessment of risk versus reward, potentially costing Peterson the top spot, though he is still expected to secure a high selection, potentially at #2. Kansas baseball's Big 12 title aspirations were dashed this weekend after a 3-game sweep by West Virginia at home. Dan Fitzgerald's team suffered a significant run differential of 17 across the series, ending their chance at their first-ever Big 12 regular season title. Despite a 27-conference record, a historic achievement for the program, the Jayhawks must now rebound to secure their season. A chance to turn things around begins Thursday with a matchup against BYU in Provo. Crucially, Kansas holds a 1-game lead over West Virginia in the conference standings, positioning the Jayhawks to control their destiny and potentially claim the Big 12 title outright with a sweep over the Cougars. The Cougars currently sit just below .500 in Big 12 play with a 13-14 league record. West Virginia faces a tougher challenge in their final game against TCU, though they will conclude their season in Morgantown, while Kansas finishes on the road. The weekend proved disappointing for KU, particularly given their offense's struggle to score just 4 runs over the 3 games. However, winning the final series against BYU, ideally a sweep, and securing the Big 12 title outright would still place the Jayhawks in a strong position. This success could pave the way for hosting rights for a super regional and a potential berth in the College World Series. Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks face potential reinforcement needs following the injury of incoming transfer Christian Reeves. While Self has heavily invested in the roster this offseason, Reeves, a former Duke and Clemson center, recently underwent shoulder surgery to repair his labrum, an injury he has dealt with previously. Reeves is anticipated to play a significant role for the Jayhawks next season, but his recovery timeline presents a considerable uncertainty. Coach Self initially projected that Reeves would be back by the start of the regular season, but reports from college basketball insiders suggest a recovery period of 4 to 6 months, potentially pushing his return closer to the season's start. Beyond the surgery recovery, Reeves is expected to miss most of the Jayhawks' summer activities. This raises questions about whether Kansas will need to pursue another big man in the transfer portal to bolster its frontcourt. The adjustment period for new players is also a factor. If Reeves is the projected starter over sophomore Paul Mbia, it could disadvantage him and his teammates as they work to build chemistry. In a scenario where Reeves misses significant playing time, the depth at the center position becomes a major concern. With only Mbia and unproven freshman Davian Adkins as primary options, the team faces challenges in competing in the paint, especially concerning foul trouble. To mitigate this risk, the report suggests bringing in a veteran backup, even if he plays limited minutes, could help compete for rebounding opportunities. Alternatively, the Jayhawks could explore utilizing Utah transfer Keanu Dawes as a small ball center, leveraging his strong rebounding skills to provide a different dynamic at the 5. The recent revamp of the NBA draft lottery has significantly altered the landscape for top prospects, with the bottom 3 teams now each holding a 14% chance to secure the top selection, down from 25% for the worst record team. This change has direct implications for former Kansas star Darryn Peterson, widely considered one of the most talented players in this year's draft class. Despite the lottery results, Peterson maintains equal or better odds against BYU's AJ Dybantsa as the projected number 1 pick. However, the current draft order, placing the Washington Wizards at the top, may actually bolster Peterson's chances of going first overall. Landing with Washington is seen as a realistic scenario for the 19-year-old. Experts anticipate that Peterson and Dybantsa will be the first 2 players selected in the draft. Duke forward Cam Boozer remains a dark horse capable of taking one of the top spots, but the pairing of the Big 12 duo going first and second appears highly probable. The Wizards' position in the lottery strengthens Peterson's case for the number 1 overall spot, especially if the organization plans to build around established stars like Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Defensive considerations also play a role. The need for a combo guard who can effectively play off the ball and defend is heightened, a skill Peterson demonstrated effectively during his time at Kansas. Furthermore, the Utah Jazz, picking second, have a connection to Dybantsa, having played in Provo, Utah during his college career. While Washington might favor Dybantsa, the possibility that Utah might attempt to secure him could further increase Peterson's chances of being selected first in June.